What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal, they also asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled How Pain can get you out of your comfort zone. You know, I remember being younger and I didn't have much to eat. And that hunger and those hunger pains made me want to have a better life than the one that I had as a kid at that point. And it got me out of my comfort zone. I remember, in a particular winter, I had walking pneumonia, and I had a dream maybe I can go to the NFL. My older cousin was in the NFL, so it seemed realistic, you know. And I'd be running at track practice, envisioning basically running to that goal. And I worked harder and harder and harder and harder at it. Didn't get to the NFL. Had some hiccups along the way. But I think mostly because of size, to be perfectly honest, at the time. I wasn't a big enough per se. Skilled enough, but not big enough. But the thing about it was that initial hunger and that initial pain made me get out of the comfort zone and work harder. When I advertise when I advertise my book in the beginning of these videos, the anger and the pain of that situation is what fueled me to write the book in the first place. And I would say that I was accustomed to the feeling, to being able to turn pain into something else. So I remember the whole process. Like, man, it wasn't as taxing till I got to the end, till I calmed down. I think when I calmed down, the last like few chapters were harder to make. But as far as the creation of it, it came from a painful place. Um, you know, as y'all can see in these videos this year, I'm smaller than I was in previous years. And I remember when I first got into my car wreck a couple of years ago, I was definitely bigger. Ironically, I still have the same amount of strength, really. So that's a good thing. But the pain of that accident and me not want to, I thought I was going to have surgery on my rotator cuff because, it was a tear in it. So, tears normally get worse. So it took a while. And I did a lot of rehab and all that. And I made a decision to actually be more active than I was. I worked out maybe 4 or 5 days a week. And I bumped it up to 7. And I got outside of my comfort zone. And I feel good, I'm smaller. Like I think 2 years ago I was like 177. Now I'm like right now like 158. I lost more weight recently because I stopped eating sweets, but it got me in that comfort zone to feel better. I was comfortable with the body I had and being in the shape that I was in because I was relatively healthy. Except for cholesterol. I think my cholesterol is down now because of I lost some weight and a little bit of changed diet. But it was that pain that initially got me out of my comfort zone because for like 6 months I couldn't run. I could walk with a limp, but I couldn't run a jog. Just couldn't do it. And I felt like if I was able to do it again, I was going to be as active as possible because, some people can't walk, and and I missed being jogging and running. And I was like, I'm not gonna let this. Even as I get older, I'm not gonna just let that go. Um, I think even my excuse me, it might sound ironic, but heartbreak helped me be more creative, and it also helped me actually. Which the part that I say might sound crazy is heartbreak actually propelled me to get out of my comfort zone and be a better person as far as how to treat somebody that I care about. I think I go through my ups and downs with that, I would say, but I try to treat people like I would like to be treated. In this society, that doesn't really work out well at times, but I still continue to do it. And one of the reasons I stay out in that outside of that comfort zone of just being not about self preservation, but being I think protective of my heart to it. I would say this. I said it wrong. I'm still comfortable being vulnerable, even though it's an uncomfortable space to be in because of heartbreak. Because I realized being walled off, though you might feel like you might feel very protected, you might not be open to things that come along in life. And heartbreak is the same thing when I played sports and taking losses in life. Heartbreak is part of the initial angst, I would say. It's like a motivating factor. It's like I don't want to have this feeling again. I remember how can I say this? The pain of death. Like I, when I lost my best friend and my grandmother in a 2 week span, it got me. It made me have a shell, and it took a long time to get out of that because actually those two people were the only two were the people I connected with the most. So you gotta imagine my homeboy, me and him was the same age. So he died on New Year's. He got uh, shot on New Year's Eve and died like the second, I want to say, because I found out New Year's morning. I found out New Year's Day, like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I talked to my grandmother, and I remember telling her, and she was like, "Baby, I'm so sorry," but at the time she was dying. I just didn't know it yet. She knew it, but I didn't know it. And I remember that putting me into a shell, like just could never open up to anybody. But understanding that you gotta live, and I had my son at the time, like prior to like prior to my 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 friend and best friend and my grandmother died. I had my son prior to that, and I had to get out of that shell for him. And I started thinking, like, I don't think people realize that you're gonna have to take a risk, and where all of your rewards are at is on the other side of risk. So sometimes pain and hurt will take you will push you outside of your comfort zone to take a risk. I remember making music and being scared to put it out. When I finished the book, I was scared to put it out. When I initially started doing these videos, I was scared to hit the publish button. But me as a person, at some point, I just said, man, F all that. And I would say, getting using pain and heartbreak to get you outside of your comfort zone can push you to do things that you probably didn't know you could do. As far as creativity, even people, who want to just change their lives financially. Sometimes it's pain and heartbreak that get them out of that. Like, I don't want to live like this anymore, so I just gotta go for it. So if something gets at you, be thankful that it might push you outside of your comfort zone, because something great might be on the other side of that. But we're done. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.